When I first started learning how to shoot weddings and I was looking on YouTube on tutorials, everything I saw was only for beginners. There was nothing about how to build relationships with clients, how to build relationships with photographers, how to work with a second shooter and all those things. And it was kind of scary because I'd go to these weddings and I started going by myself and I had no idea what I was doing. So what I'm gonna do here today is talk to you intermediate filmmakers about how to shoot a wedding and get into more of those specific details that people don't really talk about. Stuff like building relationships, how to work with the bride and groom, how to eliminate the awkward conversations, and how to get up close and personal with brides and grooms. So for my weddings, I like to mic up the groom and the officiant just as kind of a redundancy. And this can be really awkward and weird sometimes because you're getting real up close and personal with usually a stranger. The biggest piece of advice I can give is to be forward and talk everything you're doing through. And then we might have to do a little bit of untucking here.
Yeah.
But we're gonna run this up from the bottom of your shirt. Yeah. What I'm gonna do is
Is this gonna go somewhere?
Yeah, we're gonna tape it right inside.
Like that, so you can't see it?
Yep. So I'm gonna wrap this up, tuck it into your back pocket.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna do a little tuck into your waistline as well.
Yeah.
As you can see here, what I'm doing is I'm talking about where I'm gonna put the mic. I'm asking him a question. I'm telling him where my hands are gonna go. And I'm asking for some help. I'm asking him to feed this up through his jacket, through his shirt, and asking him to be a part of the process. If you just completely take over and start grabbing people, they get uncomfortable. No one likes that. No one wants to be touched by someone else. But if you're being honest with them and sharing the workload, they feel more comfortable and they're more willing, and it's easier to really just get the mic on them. So gear-wise, we use 3 cameras throughout the day. And the main purpose of that third camera is for the ceremony. Really throughout the day, it's just myself and my second shooter roaming around on gimbals and capturing stuff that we see as things are going on. We rarely use a third camera just because we don't really need it. As long as you have 2 main cameras ready to go, that's great. For audio sources, we use 2 F2s as well as the Zoom H5. And the H5 is more of a backup recorder in case, my mics fail and the DJ has a clean audio source. A lot of the time I don't rely on DJ audio sources because things can happen. They catch wind really easily if it's a super windy day. Always good to have a lav mic ready to go. Other than that, cameras, gimbals, and lenses and mics, you're good to go for a wedding. So the first look is one of those things where as much as you can strategize, it's not always gonna be perfect. And you can kind of see that with what just happened with our first look where we had the plan, but then the photographer shifted positions, I shifted positions, I didn't stay on my marks, but my second shooter, Mateo, did a great job of following track with what I told him. Stay on the groom's side profile, and that's exactly what he did. And the other thing too is you're gonna have some fun first looks. The initial plan was for the bride to still stay hidden, and she didn't stay hidden, but that's okay. What we do is you always continue to roll, and you just roll with the punches. Do your best, always stay on point, always just be ready for anything. You wanna identify your weakness as a filmmaker, and my personal weakness is I struggle with posing. Posing is something that I just don't really see. I really just see the image through my camera and composition in the camera. And this is where I call myself the photographer's shadow. They are great at posing, that's their job. I don't want to interfere. I want to let them pose, do everything they need to do. That way I can capture the perfect shot. So like every other videographer for the ceremony, we use 2 70-200 cameras on tripods, but we do something different for our third camera. Instead of using a third static wide shot, we use a gimbal, a roaming camera is what I like to call it, with a 24-70 on there. This is what's gonna separate you from every other videographer. Instead of cutting from the static groom shot, the static bride shot, the static wide shot, you've got this camera that can provide many more shots than what a tripod can provide. This is really important because it separates you. When couples are watching your video, they're thinking, whoa, he was there, whoa, he was there, now there's a shot there. How many cameras did this guy have? They don't realize that with this roaming camera, they get to see so many more perspectives. Post-wedding Matt here. If you have any questions on any of the content we discussed in this video, or you just have general videography questions, feel free to leave a comment down below or hit me up in my DMs on Instagram at matt.shaps. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time.